Yeah, it's me, Vanessa, and all my boobs are showing. So today I decided I'm gonna give this little mukbang situation another try because frankly last time I sucked. So today me and Morty, this is my little narwhal that my husband won for me at the fair. So we're sitting here, we're gonna eat us a little lobster, a little crab leg, a little scrimp, some taters in there and corn. I don't know if I'm gonna eat those, but they're there. And definitely got some Starbucks. And this is my last time really eating like this for a while because I'm trying to do some things different, make a few lifestyle changes, and I won't be able to eat seafood every day anymore because no one should do that. Anyway, so today we're going to talk, well, before we talk about what we're going to talk about, let's say prayers really quick. Dear Jesus, thank you for this meal. May it go to the nourishment and fulfillment of my body. And please bless the hands and the resources that went towards this meal. In your name, Jesus, we pray. Amen. Okay, because I'm hungry. I'm actually a little hungry today. So we're going to talk about CJ So Cool. And that will be the last time that I say that because, we're just going to call him CJ. And this story came to me by one of my close friends. She's telling me about this guy, this couple. They're a YouTube couple, and he has a girlfriend named Royalty who he has 5 children with. Look up a story yourself. I'm not going to break down all the ins and outs because it's not really about them, but you'll see where I'm going in a second. So I came across the story because one of my friends told me about him, and he's a very interesting character. He reminds me of someone. And it got me to thinking, since it's the end of Mental Health May, I mentioned in my last situation that I had a situation. And it made me make the Mental Health May video in the first place because I just wasn't having that great of a week. And I realized just over time that every time I end up in this situation, I don't really feel that great about myself afterwards. I feel like, let me tell you something. Curtis, he does it. So there's this guy. His name is Curtis in Huntsville. And he makes the best lobster I've ever had in my entire rotation around the sun. So he a little hard-headed because I told him to put some more sauce in here and he didn't do that. But if you find him and you say his name's Curtis, ask him for a plate. Anyway. So I feel bad about myself. And I have pretty good self-esteem and confidence. And nothing really gets me down. So every time I have to deal with a certain situation, I just don't feel good afterwards. Like I start picking myself apart and I start looking at myself like I'm not who I know I am. And like, I don't know, I just transform into this really sad and down and out feeling person. Like I'm not productive. I'm a loser. I have nothing going on. What am I doing? And then it clicked. So, back to CJ. His girlfriend's name is Royalty, and they're 5 kids. So, they were together, and when they first got together, look into the story, because you don't need me to give you all the deets. You can look that up for yourself. But they were together, and when they first got together, she held him down and pretty much took care of him until he got on his feet. And then once she started making YouTube videos involving her kids before they had biological kids, he blew up. And so, you know what happens when certain people or certain guys start getting a little bad, they start feeling themselves. I really feel some type of way that my lobster is gone, but I digress. Anyway, so He got a little bag now. Starting to fill himself a little bit. And I'm not going to talk about his teeth. I mean, though they disturbed my soul, he got his teeth done. He paid $33,000 for it. He was screaming from here to the mountaintops. Let's move on. So, he got his teeth done. Moved them in here and there and everywhere. Surprised him with everything. And like some dudes do, he get to cheating. A lot, apparently. And let's move past that, right? Let's get to where we are currently and why this is something I'm talking about. Because I don't care about nobody's business. Let's be real. He did something she didn't like. She decides to move out and leave him, right? There was a video that they posted. Well, he posted for Mother's Day, which was just a few weeks ago, where he had all these bags from Fendi lined up for her as gifts for Mother's Day. And I'm guessing some of that was to say, I'm sorry. The best apology is changed behavior. But again, moving right along. And he said a few things in that video that really, when I say triggered, I mean, boom, like triggered me, right? The first thing he said was, why you got attitude? Mind you, this is after she left him. She just came over just so he can see his kids and get her Mother's Day gift. So he's like, I cheated on you. I did so many things. So I'm doing this for you. But it wasn't that bad. You didn't have to leave. Was I beating you? No. Was I stealing money from you? No. So, ladies, be for real when you decide to leave your man, because it got to be something serious. That was the first thing. So, of course, she's irritated because he has a camera in her face while he's saying all this. And then she's like, playfully, but you can tell she's annoyed, starts throwing stuff at him, like, shut up. And so he's like, you don't look that excited. Oh, you're ungrateful. That was the second thing. I know I cheated, but you don't ever do nothing for me. Buy me something and watch how grateful I would be. I'm going to take a moment of silence right here because, girl, now let me say this one more time for those of you in the back that can't hear real good. I'm rushing through their story because this isn't about them. Doesn't affect my life. It's sad. It's not dope to see another woman go through that. But that's the reason for this video, is to show you she's not the only one. And everybody always wants to know my story. So here we go. I give you a little glimpse. While he's doing all this stuff, I'm triggered because there was a point in my life, a point in a lot of my friends' lives, where you're with someone who you love tremendously, right? May have been a boyfriend, a husband, father of your kids. And then they do something to you and you take them back, and especially in this community. And what I mean by this community, I mean in the Black community, we teach women that you're supposed to ride or die. That you're supposed to stick it out, stick in there, take the foolishness, and just one day maybe he'll get it together and you'll have the relationship that you always wanted. Now I'm mad right now because I just got my nails done yesterday and one of them just broke. Anyway, so we're taught to just stick it out. Maybe at some point he'll grow up, get it together, and then he'll do it again, right? And this time, the story might be different. He might say, it's a girl who's stalking him. These messages aren't real. Whatever. And then eventually, after doing it a few times, you're going to start to feel some type of way. You're going to start to feel like, maybe, you're going to start to feel like, what is it that you're not getting here? Why do you have to keep going out there? Is our relationship trash? Am I trash? Like, what is happening? And then, because now your mental health is affected and you don't feel good about yourself. Is there something in my forehead? You don't feel good about yourself because you don't feel good about your situation. You might start checking their phone. You might start checking their emails. I don't know. You might go further and contact the girl. Maybe you'll start doing things to change your appearance or dress differently. Maybe you start going to the gym. Maybe you like get a different job. I don't know. But there are things that happen naturally when a person feels like, why won't this dude stay home? Why won't he be faithful and truthful to me? Why does he have to lie to me? Why do I feel so uncomfortable? And eventually, you might even get to a point where nothing he does seems like it's on the up and up. And once that happens, he starts to use that against you and say, oh, well, you're just insecure. Now, baby, insecure, when they start throwing that out there, that's, I'm gonna keep it PG. I'm gonna keep it PG. And they use that, which is called gaslighting, to then, because you're in such a weakened and vulnerable state, to keep doing what they're gonna do. And they just get to use the excuse, oh, you're insecure. You think everything I'm doing is wrong. So then, if you finally do get the strength to leave, that's when all the good stuff come out. And I mean all the little tactics of, the first thing they're going to say, of course, is that you were cheating the whole time and you're a hoe and you did this and you did that. Oh, please. If you have a man that breaks up with you or you break up with him and somehow you manage to not be a hoe by the end of the conversation, kudos, girl. Or you have kids together. They might start doing things to manipulate the children or manipulate you by saying, don't keep my kids from me, just so that they can have some type of audience with you. Might even take your kids away from you. There are a million things that could take place. If he had any respect for you, those things wouldn't take place. So what he chose to do was make video after video of, I'm about to get back with my baby mama, or she was cheating on me the whole time with my arch nemesis, and she keeping my kids from me. Now that's their story. But I have my own story. And my story goes like this. At one time, I was a very innocent, determined, inspired woman, and I wanted to do so many different things. I wanted to sing and I wanted to act, and I just wanted the world to be happy. And unfortunately, I had to learn to strengthen up a little bit. And there are things that I experienced that have kept me in a place where I don't open up. I don't really let people in. I'm very much distant, and I just don't want anyone to get close to me, because it's like every time I let someone close to me, they take advantage, and they know that I don't have like a retaliatory spirit. I'm not very vengeful. So you could pretty much do anything to me and I will just let karma take care of you. And I have a very, very serious relationship with God that I just try to do the things that I think he wants me to do, and I try to let him lead me. But people try to take advantage of that goodness, and they will if you let them. So my first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that you can't do what I need you to do in this relationship, right? Why can't you let me go? If you're not going to honor me in our relationship, honor me by letting me go and let me be happy away from you if I can't be happy with you. It's very selfish for you to know it's hard for anyone to leave a relationship or leave somebody that they love and change the family dynamics to then put that blame on me and make it seem like I'm the reason for this situation happening. Like the CJ guy did to Royalty. He literally said in her Mother's Day video that she's the reason why the family is broke up. And that hurts. For a person who really, really cares and who really cares about their children, why the hell do you think I would want to spend the money, take the time, effort, and energy to go through all of this if I was happy here? If this was a good place for me? If my children didn't see me crying day in and day out? Why the hell would I uproot my life if you were such a great guy? That's one thing. The other thing is, why can't you have integrity from me? Why can't you keep my secrets after we're over? Why are you trying to expose me? And then why you got to add 2110? Why you got to say I was a hoe and I did this and I messed with this person and made it seem like all these things? Because if those things were true, why your ass ain't leave me? Oh, I'll wait. I have nothing but time. Your ass wasn't going nowhere. So don't then flip and bounce the situation and make it seem like I'm such a monster because you and your teeth is sitting in this house by yourself. Lastly, why the hell you got to play with the kids? The children have suffered enough. The children knows what's going on between you and I, especially if in that case, they're public figures. You don't think these kids go online and see and hear the shit that you're doing to their mother? The mental state that you're leaving their mother in, and that's why she's crying. That's why she's unhappy. That's why there's now a U-Haul or a Penske outside. I just don't respect the fact that you didn't want to do me right, and you don't know how to stop doing me wrong. You didn't want to be the man that I needed you to be, that anybody, nothing special. I'm not asking for shit special, but you couldn't be the man that I needed you to be in the relationship. Your ass can't do it while we out. You can't let me go and be happy. You are that unhappy with yourself that the smile on my face has to be yours, or you just got to cause me more pain. Like, how am I ever supposed to know that you loved me if this is how you do me? You can't even let me go like a man. What am I saying? Time and time again, we see a man with money or a man in a certain position that because the girl might be in a certain position too, you do everything you can to save face. And that is at the detriment to not only the woman, but to the children. And while you sitting here trying to mess with me in my mind, you don't think that this shit is affecting you too? Instead of just being able to handle not having that relationship anymore, or God forbid if you want the woman back, to do all the things that you're supposed to do to try to get her back instead of tearing her down, because I don't know who the hell is going to want to go back to something like that. But that is mental and emotional abuse. I'm going to just say what it is. So, as a person who has been mentally, emotionally, and even physically abused, that shit fucks with you for years. So when I say I was going through some things and I saw that story and I talked to my friend Aries, It was like God was saying, it's now time for you to let it go, baby. It's now time for you to tell whatever part of the story you want to tell. It's time for you to talk about the things that affect you, the reason why you're so distant, the reason why you don't let anybody in, the reason why you might have a few days where you don't feel that great about yourself, because you are still that woman. You are still being brought back to whenever you decided to make a choice of your own happiness. It's hard being with a certain person, narcissist, selfish, whatever you want to call it, because they will never be able to stand in their own pain. They will never be able to tell the truth because they can't face their mess up. So they have to blame everyone else. And you're, of course, going to be the first one. You're, of course, going to take the brunt of it because let's face it, who else can I blame? God forbid I blame myself. God forbid I take responsibility for what I did here. And the emotional toll that takes on a woman, especially a woman like me who fought hard for my family, who is being humiliated left and right. Still to this day, not a positive thing is said about me. And still I take it all in stride. I pray a lot. I try to take care of myself, do a lot of skincare, wear some masks, take a nap. I record and I film and I try to give myself to the world, but there's still always a piece of me that I don't let anyone see and I don't put out there because it's hard for me to even face it myself. It's hard for me to know that every time this situation gets brought up, I feel weak again. Everybody knows me as so strong and I'm such a badass, but they have no idea that underneath it all, I still hurt because someone I loved so much has never loved me, has never respected me, has never honored me. And no matter how much I give, no matter how much I gave, it would never be enough to fill the void in you. So what am I saying? The moral of the story is, if you can't, don't. If you can't be in a relationship, don't get in a relationship. Because every relationship you get in, no matter whose fault it is when you break up, you ain't going to be able to do that person right if you are broken inside. Hurt people hurt people. That's why I don't hurt people. I put myself together over and over and over again every single time. You want to know why? Because God has given me the strength and the resilience to push forward every single time I get knocked down. Sure, I feel bad some days, and sure, I may not feel like myself, and sure, I might be harder on myself. But it's because I can face that part of me, and because I can do the work necessary to grow, I do, in fact, grow. Men and women. If you mean that man or woman no good, leave them alone. Why break down another person spiritually, mentally, and emotionally because your ass broken? Why do that to somebody? I just will never understand. Like, if you need to be in the street, why not be for the streets? You know, there are other ways to skin a cat. Like, if you want to mess with somebody, but you also want to mess with other bodies, tell everybody and let them make the decisions that they want to make. You mess up because you make the decisions for them. You take the decisions from them. And then you're the only one benefiting because you ain't shit and you just want her to stay faithful to you while you do whatever you want to do. Which is fine. But that's why I don't give nobody advice. If you ask me, do you. You ain't got to be faithful to nobody but your husband. Tell me I'm wrong. I don't care. But all this boyfriend, girlfriend stuff, you got me. Mm-mm. And then, I don't have to break, if you're my boyfriend, I don't have to have a reason to break up with you. You're just my boyfriend. I don't want to be with you anymore. We're not compatible anymore. We've outgrown each other. I'm just not interested. I want to date other people. Why do I have to have a dissertation for why I don't want to be with somebody anymore? That's not my husband. You didn't declare before the world and God that you wanted to be with me, so why the hell I gotta stay with you? Because if you want to leave me, your ass to be out and you ain't gonna give me no explanation. So I don't know why I gotta do it. I'm gonna tell you these new rules that y'all folks done came up with as to why somebody gotta dedicate their life but without any commitment, no real commitment. Child, who got me messed up? With that being said, I went through some things, you know what I'm saying? Like, sure, I got beat down, had my baby taken from me, all types of stuff. I'm trying to tell you, it gets real. Maybe one day, when I have the strength to really, like, fully go into my story, I'll tell you. But I still try to protect people because I have no malice in my heart. You want to know why? Because to end this video, I will tell you, I am so happy. Like, if I wouldn't have left a bad situation in hopes, I didn't know, I didn't have no assurance. I just knew this wasn't working. And if I would have fallen for the trap, I would have stayed there still with the same situation. Possibly it could have changed, but I was never going to let it, because let me tell you something. If you didn't respect me or honor me in the beginning, you don't get no time to make it up. You only have but so many times, because at some point I'm teaching you how to disrespect me. So with that being said, I'm in a wonderful, lovely, climated place. The sun shines all the time. I go to the beach all the time because I love the water. I have two swimming pools, so I get to go swimming anytime I want to. My children are so beautiful and mannerable. And I have an amazing husband. Like, he is so beyond. Like, I can't stand him sometimes too. I mean, that's marriage, but it's marriage. We had a wedding. My family and friends were there. And I literally wake up happy every day. I could lose my job. I could lose friends. I can lose money, but I don't lose myself. And I'm not in a situation to where I have to. My confidence is there no matter how much weight I gain or lose. So I can choose to go to the gym or not. No one's making me. No one's telling me that I need to. No one's blaming me for things. If, something goes wrong, people can take responsibility for their actions. And I get to eat seafood whenever I want to. Like, that's why it's going on. So, I don't know. Wait for somebody to be good to you, or take the risk, walk out on faith, and be good to your damn self. Like, subscribe. That's muy importante. Like, I don't know what y'all want from me, but if you want me to keep making videos, if you want my quality to be better, if you want to see me smile, you gotta like and subscribe. Like, what do you want from me? I'm giving you my blood, sweat, and tears. So give me a tippity tap. I will be back every week, sometimes more, and we're gonna have fun together, because this channel is for fun. This channel is a safe space. This channel is for you and I to just have a few minutes away from the world and to talk about things that you want to talk about, I want to talk about, we want to talk about, and look cute doing it or not. I don't know, because I'm lazy, so sometimes But I love you. This food was good. If you want to know whatever I used, I might put in the description box. I mean, but you're going to have to tell me. Leave a comment below if you want me to go into details. If you have something you want me to talk about eventually, we will get to. But yeah, be good to yourself and others and get help. I cannot stress that enough. Get help. There's nothing wrong. There's no shame in seeing someone, telling them what's on your soul, and letting them tell you how you can help yourself and others who have to deal with you and your bullshit. Be honest with yourself too. Like, if you ain't shit, live and stay in that. Like, help us out. So to end this mental month May madness, mayhem, malignant, I don't know, I'm just trying to find any word that starts with M. Look at the person that's next to you. And if you love them, tell them you love them while they're there. Because you don't have to lose somebody because they left you or cheating. I mean, death and things happen. Look at COVID, wiped out a lot of people. And then there's, again, the mental health struggles that we already have with being depressed just because life is life. And then to be isolated for months at a time, that didn't do well for a lot of people. So just be happy with the person that you're with. And there's nothing wrong with telling them and showing them. There's nothing wrong with coming home when you're supposed to. There's nothing wrong with sleeping in your own bed. There's nothing wrong with keeping your legs closed. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Also, look in the mirror and tell yourself you love you. It's cool that we have relationships and that we have boyfriends and girlfriends or spouses, but it's most important that we have ourselves and we don't lose ourselves to a relationship. Especially a master manipulator. Be real with yourself. If you're in a relationship with somebody, why don't you look wild? Especially if you're unhappy. You might be just being manipulated. I want more for you. Just like I want it for myself. And the only way it's going to happen is if you go out and get it. Because no one's going to give it to you. And also, don't look for happiness in another person. I don't care how good they are to you. I don't care if they're perfect and they've never done anything wrong. Find that happiness within. Because like I said, a person can die. They don't have to do anything wrong. You could lose them in a car crash. And then what? You want to go down with them? That's 2021. I'm not saying be selfish, but I'm saying be selfish. It's okay to give more cares about yourself than you do another person. Especially if they ain't shit and they ain't no good. Like and subscribe. Come take a ride. We won't go hide. I give high fives. Sorry. Oh, I got one. Like and subscribe. That's how we thrive. Come take a all right. Since Mercury is in retrograde, it says for Libra, you may be thinking about your next grand adventure right now. This is a great time to explore what truly inspires, motivates, and excites you. Focus on merging a deep sense of wonder to your wander during this retrograde, and be sure to reflect on some beliefs and philosophies as you explore a variety of points of view. Remember to steer clear of any dogmatic verb or overzealousness while embracing great freedom, truth, and joy with your voice. Be introspective about the mental and vocal expansion and growth you've been experiencing lately, alongside the cathartic release of limiting beliefs. So, pretty much just tell your truth, and I guess that's what this Mercury is trying to do this year. Normally, she just has me a blithering fool and make me want to cry and be upset about everything. But this year, she's like, no, just talk about stuff. And we all know how much I love to do that. Yes, sunshine in the